Whether you like it or not, live-action anime is happening, and there's nothing we can do to stop it.
This is indeed a disturbing universe.
Powerful Nerdcast assemble!
Stay dandy, baby. Greetings, my wonderful friends. I am the Ace Guru, and welcome to another topic discussion video. Today, we're going to be talking about live-action anime adaptations. Before, they were just kind of a niche thing. Now, they're coming out of the woodworks. Here they are, they're mainstream, they're happening, and whether you like them or not, they're here to stay. Before we move headlong into this topic, I would like to ask all of you, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so you can see all of my latest videos, reviews, and discussions just like this one. If you are already subscribed, make sure you're hitting the bell notification icon so that you'll know when my videos are released. If you do like this video, go ahead, smash the like button. It's right there, it's super easy to do, and it helps out these videos tremendously. You could also consider checking out my Patreon, where you can make a small monthly donation. It'll go a long way in supporting this channel, and I would love to add your name to this list of all of these people that you currently see on screen right now, the Super Saiyan producers of Ace Guru. But now, let's go ahead and talk about live-action anime. Now, I've made it very clear in the past that I think live-action anime adaptations kind of defeat the entire purpose of anime overall. Anime is stylistic. It's colorful. It does things that you can't do in live action. And when you try to bring these things to a real life setting, a lot of the times it just doesn't work. But the fact of the matter is, Hollywood is absolutely starved for brand new material to give to the audience. Not in an artistic sort of sense, but mostly because, well, they want that cash. And the main reason that I even want to talk about this stuff is because Netflix has absolutely opened the floodgates of live-action anime adaptations with the about-to-be-released Cowboy Bebop, which I am cautiously optimistic about. I have to be perfectly honest, some of the most recent trailers have actually got me kind of excited to see what it's going to be, and at the end of the day, even if the series ends up just completely sucking major ass, there will always be the original classic anime to enjoy. The problem is, by introducing a live-action anime adaptation, it's going to completely change the conversation behind a lot of these legendary franchises. After the end of the first season of the live-action Cowboy Bebop series, there's now going to be a brand new discussion. Whenever you talk about Cowboy Bebop, it's no longer going to be, hey, you remember Cowboy Bebop, that great anime series? No, now the conversation is going to be, hey, have you seen Cowboy Bebop? You mean the original anime or the okay live-action show? Again, this is all just speculation on my point. For all we know, this live-action show could be really awesome, and if anything, it looks like the creators are trying to at least honor that classic series, stylistically, musically speaking. I'm not so sure about the cast quite yet, but I'm gonna go into it with an open mind. But then, things just started to get fucking insane. So for the last couple years, there have been talks that they're going to do a live-action One Piece, and I never believed it. In my heart of hearts, I never thought that One Piece could ever be transformed into a live-action series. It's just entirely too stylistic to be transformed into something in live action. And then most recently, we not only got the big announcement that yes, the series is indeed happening, but we already have some of the main cast of the big characters of the show, and I still cannot believe it. If for some reason you haven't seen One Piece, here's a quick little summary of what it's all about. It's about this young pirate who goes by the name of Monkey D. Luffy, who gathers a crew to try and find a legendary treasure. And along the way, he ends up getting in these grand adventures, saving people, fighting bad guys, and all types of wacky things happen. And this isn't your typical pirate adventure. These characters have crazy powers, which borderline on superpowers. They have these devil fruits, which allow them to manipulate their bodies in a number of different ways, whether that means being able to stretch themselves, manipulate fire, not to mention there are characters who have access to all sorts of other crazy abilities, whether they be martial arts or weapons. There's all sorts of various races which exist in this series. The fact of the matter is, this is a fantasy pirate series. And most importantly of all, One Piece has a look to it which is wholly unique. There's really nothing else like the One Piece series. A lot of the characters are completely disproportionate in their design, they have exaggerated features, and these are things that won't necessarily translate to live action. But guess what? Netflix is gonna try anyway. Just the logo of the live-action series alone should show you the direction that they're actually going in. I mean, let's compare the logos. The original is cartoony and fun and lets you know exactly what type of series this is going to be. Look at the skull here. It's happy. It's got a big ol' smile on its face. Now let's look at the live-action version. This is straight up just a realistic skull with a straw hat. No expression, nothing crazy, just a skull. And as for the cast themselves, I'm kind of mixed on them overall, although I do have to admit, I do think that some of them are kind of appropriate. Our main character, Monkey D. Luffy, is going to be played by Inaki Godoy, and I have no idea who this kid is. At least it looks like he's going to be peppy and happy and he has that Monkey D. Luffy smile, but I cannot wait to see how they're going to visualize his overall powers. You see, Luffy has the ability to basically stretch his body. He has a devil fruit, which allows him to sort of act as a rubber man. Not too dissimilar from Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four, except that Luffy's actually badass. Sorry, F4 fans, but you know it's the truth. One of my favorite characters from One Piece, Zoro, is going to be played by an actor who goes by the name of Mak-En-Yu. Until I see the dude in the costume, I don't know what to think, but I did look up some stuff about Mak-En-Yu, and he's actually been in a number of live-action anime adaptations already, so this really isn't anything new for him. Nami is going to be played by an actress who goes by the name of Emily Rudd, and I actually recognize her. She was actually a character in the Fear Street series, which already appeared on Netflix, and I really liked those, so I can't wait to see what she's going to bring to this role. Everyone's favorite liar and sniper Usopp is going to be played by Jacob Romero Gibson, and I don't really know what to think about this casting, but I am optimistic to see what he's going to do with it. And then there's Sanji, who's going to be played by Eminem. Okay, the actor's actual name is Taz Skylar, and despite the fact that he shares his name with a fucking Looney Tune, I'm kind of excited to see what he's going to do with the role as well, but I really hope they don't forget what the Straw Hats are supposed to look like. I want them to sort of have all of those features. I'm not necessarily saying that I want Usopp to have a long nose, but I want Usopp to have a long nose. And if Tasmanian Devil Eminem does not have a swirly eyebrow, we're gonna have some issues. Carrying over these distinguishing characteristics, I think, is what's going to be really important in trying to represent them on screen. But if there's one thing that we've learned over the last 20 years or so, it's that you don't always have to do a direct adaptation. Just look at the Marvel films. The MCU has completely broken convention and done things entirely different than the actual comics that they are based on, yet they've become a worldwide phenomenon. Hell, I love a lot of these movies myself. I've accepted the fact that they are a different thing. I expect Cowboy Bebop to be different. I expect One Piece to be different, especially because this is an instance where we actually are seeing them in a brand new format for the very first time. You see, with Marvel, there's multiple iterations, different reboots, different relaunches, multiple universes, parallel universes. We've seen so many different versions of these characters that we're honestly kind of used to it at this point. With something like One Piece or Cowboy Bebop, they've always sort of existed as one thing. Cowboy Bebop has been an anime, and One Piece has been a manga and an anime. And the anime itself is a straight adaptation of that manga, so we kind of know what we're getting. Now, we're going into uncharted territory, and shit can get kind of scary. And I will say, I want them to be successful. I want people to recognize these franchises that I love so much. Would I like them to check out the original versions of them? Of course, but this could of course be a gateway to something even bigger for more fans. And it's not to say that live-action anime adaptations can't be done faithfully and with a lot of love and even be pretty damned awesome at the same time. A good example is the Rurouni Kenshin films, which not only managed to capture the essence of the original manga and anime, but also managed to do something all on its own while still managing to honor what came before it. There's also Gintama, there's Alita Battle Angel, there's also anime adaptations which fall completely flat. Ghost in the Shell, Dragon Ball Evolution, Death Note. However, there is one live-action anime adaptation that I am personally very much looking forward to, and this goes back to the fact that there are already multiple iterations and adaptations of this franchise, and that's Mobile Suit Gundam. When Netflix made their big announcement about One Piece, they also mentioned Gundam, and they even showed off a very first image from it, which supposedly is going to be some concept art of showing us what this entire series is visually going to look like. And this is honestly what got me the most excited. I do firmly believe that Gundam can work in live action, if only for the fact that for the most part, most Gundam anime are not as stylized as, say, One Piece. They are a little more grounded in realism. The characters are a little more realistic. The craziest element about Gundam is that there are giant robots, and cinema has already proven they can do giant robots. Hell, just look at that big pivotal scene from Ready Player One where the original RX-78-2 Gundam comes out and battles against Mechagodzilla. Man, that sentence is fun to say. It looked fantastic. When I saw that scene for the very first time, I was flipping out, and I immediately thought in my head, this could happen. Gundam could actually be a live action movie. And most importantly, Gundam is a series which is not beholden to continuity. There are multiple versions of the Gundam anime series, some of which are connected, some of which are their very own thing. There are video games, there are manga, there are all types of spin-offs. This could just be another one of those. If you don't like it, skip it and move on to the next one. And that's why I think this live-action Gundam on Netflix is probably my most hyped thing to see. I'm genuinely excited to see what they're actually going to do with it. I don't expect it to be connected to anything, and if it is, hopefully it's done with love and affection, but at the end of the day, I kind of hope they try to do their own thing with it to try and make it distinctive, but at the same time, they need to be able to honor everything that came before. And honestly, I think that's something that's been happening over the course of the last couple of years. There have been a lot of crazy adaptations that I never thought that I would see in my lifetime, whether they're anime or things that are based on video games. I think that Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog have proven that these things can work. But still, there are going to be some bumps along the way, and there's definitely going to be a lot of differing opinions. And that's what today's video is all about. I would love to get your thoughts on the brand new emergence of live-action anime. Do you think it's something that can work? Do you think that's something that should be burned with fire? Are you looking forward to the One Piece live-action series? What do you think about the cast? Maybe this live-action Gundam? What anime do you want to see a live-action adaptation of? Sound off in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay dandy, baby.